Hi there, I'm Sylvia Plester-Silk, and 10 Minutes to Joy is your weekly invitation to reset, recharge, and rediscover your most joyful self through aha moments and simple energy techniques. Today, we're talking about joy and the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records have come up for me again quite recently. Lots of people asking about them and commenting on what they are. I was I became a master of the records back in about 2006, and I have been off and on reading the records since that time. I have done group readings and I have done individual readings. However, let's talk about what is this thing we call the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records is like a huge supercomputer in the big cloud we call the universe. And this supercomputer holds every single event, thought, possibility since the beginning of humankind. And within that Akasha, you have your own Akashic record. And that is the record of your souls and your soul incarnations, so that it's held in this record of your soul, I suppose. And when I read the records, I have a little process that I personally go through to make sure that I'm a clear vessel. Then I connect in with my Akashic records, and then I actually see it as visually when I'm in the records as a big long conveyor belt of doors. And so if I'm reading another person's records, I simply stand there and wait till the conveyor belt stops, and I know that I'm in my client's Akasha. At that point, I have them ask questions and get information. And the information that's stored there is all encompassing. So it's what happened in past lives. There is some information about your current path and where you're at. The cool thing about this is that it is at such an incredibly high vibration. Whatever they tell you comes from this place of love. And often my clients end up in tears because they have felt a deep understanding. They've gotten a confirmation that they're on the right path, and they're feeling validated as a human being and as a soul being as well. I could talk longer about what the Akasha are, and there's lots of names for them from different traditions across the globe and across all sorts of religious traditions. So what I thought I would do today, and bear with me because I will be reading a lot. Back in COVID time, I did a monthly reading online, or I called it a teaching. And I thought it'd be really helpful to just revisit these teachings because they share a lot about happiness and joy. And I think, well, hey, this is 10 Minutes to Joy. So we want to talk about joy and we want to talk about the energy. And for me, when I get information from the Akasha, there's a certain level of truth to it. It feels very clear and very valid and free from those mind biases that we often have as human beings. So back in 2021, I did this teaching, and I think that the teaching is still really valid today. And interesting, as I reread this morning and prep for this recording, I went, oh, I saw those words differently 5 years ago than I'm reading them today. And it's a validation of the growth that I've done to date. And so it's just really interesting. The words have not changed. They were on the page and static. My understanding of them and my appreciation for them is at a very different level today. So here goes. Joy is an outward expression of happiness, and happiness is the inward state. It's like the bubbling over of happiness. when there is so much happiness that it cannot be contained with inside and is expressed outside as pure energy that is channeled from a childlike state inside of you, that is joy. It is the bubbling over of excitement, of fullness, a pure joy, a word of fullness, fullness of being, full lightning, as like lightning, but they're not using the word lightning of, but they're using the lightning of your soul. So when you win, when you enjoy, when you're fully lit, when you're in happiness, it is a slightly lower vibration than joy. And so joy is more the external experience of something that you're holding within yourself. Another passage in the same reading. It is pure energy of happiness being manifested. So it is because you are without the human mind to confuse and distract you. So it is the beauty of the soul. One might say happiness is the soul's being. In fact, the soul's being. Therefore, when you connect with your soul, you connect with your being, and you connect with that heart. It is there in the human experience that will try and distract you and bring your mind into that which is a lower vibration. And then you will. And when you feel unhappy, it's because you're not aware of the beauty within yourself. And you have gotten distracted or pulled away from your soul in your source energy in a way that is not enabling your happiness and not allowing for happiness. It is that purity of being that is the essence of happiness, that is the vibration. It's so interesting that we think that we are this small human, and yet very clearly we are connected to a soul of pure beauty and pure light. That is us. That is actually our true essence, with a bunch of overlays from lifetimes that have been placed on our soul. Be in a place of acceptance that these things, other things, so this question was about challenges in life, things are happening, and I am whole, I am complete, and I am enough. So use those I am statements. In fact, you are more than enough. You are complete and full brilliance that has made manifest in this world at this time. And to say that you are less is a disservice to humanity as well as yourself. And this is not about being big and being bold and being full of, but being full of oneself. It is the humble recognition of the purity of the soul, of your soul, of the essence of being okay. Again, you are this pure soul and you have human experiences. As you learn to go within, to be there, it enables other people to go within. So this is talking about the process of going in and doing healing work. Contagious, not really in the sense that you're talking, but in that place of purity. Others have the opportunity to go in as well as experience the external hot beingness that is strived for. It is not the true essence of happiness with which we have been speaking. So that in external based reactionary experience of other things happening in your world that you are reflecting upon and seeing outside yourself, that piece can be shared and has sort of given me the quotes of contagion. But the pure essence of being in touch with one's soul is a more personal expression. And though it is going back to the soul connection and going back to soul energy, which is like pure energy, that you could call a pure energy, that place of source shared by all humans. So this just gives you a sense that we do have healing to do. It is like an overlay on the soul. And when we clear away those patterns, imprints, whatever you want to call them that are on our soul, we actually free up joy. So when we go into that just be grateful attitude, sometimes that doesn't work because there is a pattern or an imprint that's coming up that needs to be cleared for you. And it's an opportunity for you to heal at a different level so that you can have even more happiness internally and joy externally, that bubbling over of happiness. We need to do our own personal work so that we can feel joy, that connection with our soul and our soul's light. So it's like cleaning the window when it's all covered in dust and being able to see that brightness. So how can you internally reflect on your experience, own it, and clear up that energy of that pain, struggling, whatever, so that you can have that true expression of your soul in this incarnation? Today, as a call to action, I would love it if you would share this information, this podcast, with 2 to 3 other people. If you see my postings on social media, please share them. Let's get this. We really are in a place of struggle in our planet right now, and we need to hear that we're okay and that we will be okay and then we will come through this. Beneath the noise of overthinking, your body knows exactly what you need to heal and thrive. Listen deeply, breathe softly, and let your innate intelligence lead the way. Let your soul lead the way. Until next Friday, may you experience your soul's completion of joy.